Don't you think this is starting to wear on me? You've been raining down like hail. I'm weak. I have tried to give you my soul, but you can't love something you own. It's too late to repair what we made. What can I do? Time flashed by and I woke up on the other side of the moon.
G'day everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Anna and this is You Got Me in Stitches. Today coming in at you with a makes video. Yep, finally makes to show you guys. Righto, let's begin. What is first on the list? It is a NewLook pattern. This one here, 6895. Kind of a cute little top with a few variations there, so pretty versatile. I made the green one, which is view E. Yeah, that's right guys, you heard it first, view E, not C. Here is the lanyard on the back, and going by the measurements, the size 36 bust would have been a size 14, and because this is kind of a top that is flowy, I actually decided to go down a size, so I made the size 12. And the fabric, you guys who watch me often might recognise this fabric, and also the pink door makers who watch my channel. Yeah, guess what? It's from Andrea. Who else? And it is this beautiful, stunning peacock fabric, and the content is at lurex viscose, and look how beautiful those peacocks are. And we have some aqua flowers there, which is really pretty, and then kind of like pencil drawing almost, some black flowers, kind of outlines. Yeah, oh, this fabric is beautiful, and yeah, good to sew with as well. And yeah, so let's talk through what the features of the top have. So it has a few gathers there at the front neckline, and short sleeves with a little sleeve band, and the sleeve itself you kind of gather up a little bit, and it has these very delicate little gathers that go in to that band. Now I added a couple inches to this top, and although it probably may not have needed that, I actually decided that I wanted to add 2 inches because the fabric was so beautiful and flowy, and I just wanted a top that wasn't kind of the standard length which is that you find in most patterns. So yeah, just play around. The back has a little keyhole detail there, and then I just stitched the 2 raw edges there, folded in on the inside there. I may add a little button just as a detail, but kind of happy as is. There are no closures, so no zippers and no buttons. Just kind of put it over your head and let it fall down, and then wear and go. On the hem, did a small little hem there, just double folded, used a regular stitch length, and yeah, just stitched all around. And on the inside, because the fabric was light, I just serged all the raw edges because I was going to do French seams, but I just opted to decide to do serging. Next up is the JessaPants by Tilly the Buttons, and these have been on my radar for a bunch of time, pretty much since they were released. And you have the option of making shorts or just the regular long pants. The measurement that I decided to go with was a size 3, which was a 29-inch waist, but because I was using a denim stitch fabric, I graded a little bit, so although it still comes out as a 29-inch, that is just a smidge a little bit too large, so I just compensated that by playing around with the pattern, so it kind of came out about 28, just a smidge over, maybe 28.25. You know, we all have a little bit of expansion going on recently with lockdown. Yeah, so the fabric is pretty much the same as the colour as seen on the pattern. So it is this lilac denim, which I got from Fabricland UK. And yeah, so the features are, you can see that I used a double button. It has a zipper fly, of course. So I'll just open that for you guys. There we go, in there. And yeah, again, for you guys that have followed me, you've already seen a little sneaky peek of a flat lay of that zipper. However, it looked okay on the table, flat lay, but wearing them, I must have ever so slightly put the zipper out of kilter, because now it's going around the contours of my body. It is now peeking out. Oh! Also, it has a faux flap here, and when I attached the jeans button, I made sure that it was attached to the main fabric, because there's nothing worse than flappy flaps, is there? And on the back, it has 2 pockets, and I put a little scissors design on one of the pockets, and on the other side a little thread spool. I kind of thought I would play around with a few little stitchy designs there, and I opted to kind of change around the length of the pants, and they're not full length, and they're certainly not short, not with my legs, no way. So I just made them a little bit cropped. And yeah, the fabric, like I said, from Fabricland, and it has a little bit of stretch to the denim. Inside I just serged throughout. The hem I folded after I serged, and then used that regular stitch length to hem everywhere. And yeah, overall, considering I've never made these before, believe it or not, I know it's going to be a shock, nothing went wrong. I guess maybe afterwards, now looking back in hindsight with the zipper placement, I should have just moved it over a little bit more, but apart from that, nothing went wrong. Everything was straightforward. Yeah, so really happy pair of JessaPants. Next up is 4 makes, but they are the same tee. And what is that tee? You guys have already had a sneak peek of this. So it is this McCalls M7574, and I made the view there, which is view A. There's a liner on the back there, so a few little options there. I made a size 12 in this pattern. Now cast your mind back just a few videos ago. Do you remember this mock-up? And I just used some thrifted 100% lightweight cotton, and I know maybe that perhaps when you make mock-ups you kind of have to make the mock-ups in similar if not the same fabric, but I thought, you know what, it is only a mock-up, and the stretchy fabrics that I was going to use would not make too much of a difference as opposed to making a mock-up in 100% cotton. This cotton mock-up fitted as is, and I made sure that I would have kind of mentally realised that if it was a little bit tight, to bear in mind that tightness may not follow through in the stretchy fabric. Again, stretchy fabric is designed to go around the contours of your body, and as long as you got your measurements pretty accurate for the stretchy fabrics, you're not going to go wrong. Now, the thing that I did not like about this top, for those of you that saw this, was the neckband. So this neckband would stand up that height, and I didn't like it that not only that high, but also that width of the band being close to the neck and everything. So I will insert some footage of the amendments that I made to the traced out pattern pieces and talk through that. But yeah, so based on that size, if you imagine that then folded, and it would create a thinner neckband, and that's what I wanted to have on this tee. Righto, so starting off with the back and the front of the sleeve pieces, obviously when they are combined together there will be one. So the alteration that I did to the pattern here is I removed 3/4 inch off the ends here, which obviously would be under the arm side pit area. Both for the back and front bodice parts I removed about a 1/2 inch along the neckline, just gradually graded that down from the point of the shoulder, as I did not want to remove anything from the actual shoulder. So yeah, both the back and front necklines have been altered. The other alteration is to add a little bit to the pattern there, so then that actually reduces the amount in the arm side area, kind of under the pit, so that encloses that a little bit more. I did that on both sides, so both was a 1/2 inch each, just to bring that in. This is the neckband, and instead of just adding a tiny bit of paper, I just scribble a little reminder to make sure that I add on the required amount, because obviously when you take away from a neckline, that then alters the neckband. Also with this neckband, you see it as the measurement that it currently is. If you just imagine this doubled, so the neckband would actually finish at the width as you can, or height as you can see here, and I did not like that, so I decided to cut it in half. So this is the exact half, and then when I fold it, you can see the central line there all through the middle, and then that will be half again, and yeah, it makes it a lot more narrower, and I'm more comfortable with that size. Then we come to both the front and back pieces, and because I am tall, I always need to lengthen patterns. Originally I added 1/3/4 inch, it's my little scribble there, and when I made up the first tee, I decided I actually needed an extra inch, so all in all 2 3/4 inches. I may round that up to 3 inches. Alright, so the first one that I made was in this beautiful fabric, which is green modal French terry, and it's violet romance, and it has these beautiful little birds on with the pretty flowers, so they complement each other really well. And in this one, when I made a little adjustment, I always have to lengthen things anyway. First up, I lengthened it to 1 3/4 inch, and like I said, the adjustment to the neckband. So you can see that's kind of a regular sized neckband as opposed to one that would be double the size, which I did not want to have. It has the splits at the sides there, and throughout originally I actually zigzag stitched all the raw edges when I created it and then serged on top, and yeah, so folded over the hemband after I serged it and then zigzag stitched that in place. The little side splits, all I did there was just zigzag stitch both those sides and made sure that the serging finished okay with it, because when you split the raw edges there and then make them meet, obviously you have to just serge a little bit, and then that's different from the side seams. So yeah, a little finagling there, but did it all okay. So yeah, that is my first one. Next up is butterfly fabric, and this is in a French terry. Really like those pretty butterflies. On this one, after I made the first one, I realised there was a little bit of gaping in the sleeve side area, so I then started to alter around this part, and I took out 1/4 inch both sides of the sleeves, but left the arm side on the main body pieces as was at that time. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as the green one, and I added the splits there in this one. And now for the third one. Beautiful fabric. It is called Tropical Peacock French Terry in a mustard ochre, and yeah, coming a little bit closer, you can see the little peacocks there and the floralness of the fabric. Yeah, so pretty much as the other two, but this time I actually went in even more on the arm side and also added to the arm side both on the front and the back pieces, and then took out some fabric from the actual ends there of the sleeve to actually bring it in, because the gaping, I'm still not happy with it, and I just wanted to do it in little increments at a time and not too much. On this one I decided to omit the side splits, so it's just a regular t-shirt that goes all the way down. Yeah, happy with that. Just to play around. Sometimes I like the splits, whilst other times I don't like the splits. Also, I added an extra inch to this one, so in all, this one and the last tee that you will see, it is 2 3/4 inch added to the length, because yeah, being tall, and it's okay perhaps with high-waisted pants, but sometimes, you know, when you're lifting your arms up, sometimes you don't really want to have your belly out. So yeah, this is the fourth one. It is beautiful fabric. It is a cherry blossom soft sweat in light blue. And after all the changes that I made, this one's pretty much spot on to how I like it. So closing the arm side a little bit, adding the extra length, making sure the neckband was a good fit, and obviously taking out some of the excess around the neckline itself. But yeah, so remembering to add on a little bit of fabric on the neckband so then it would fit into the circumference of the slightly wider neck. Yeah, so really beautiful fabric. And on this one I put back in the side splits, and you can see how super soft the inside of this fabric is, and yeah, against the skin it is really super soft and snuggly. Yeah, so all in all with these 4 tees, pretty happy to how they came out with the adjustments and everything. So yeah, all these 4 fabrics, if you like the look of them, you'll never guess where I purchased them from. Any ideas? Of course, Andrea from Behind the Pink Door. So all the fabric links will be, well, the websites rather will be below. However, these fabrics, they literally fly off Andrea's shelf. Sometimes they probably fly off before, yeah, that anybody gets a chance to actually make an order. But yeah, take a look at the fabrics, and obviously the other links to Fabricland, they will be down in the description as well. Okay guys, so that is my makes for this week to show you. Obviously I've not made them during this week. It has been over a few weeks, and yeah, so pretty pleased with what I have made, and fabrics are absolutely divine. So I'll leave you now with some stills of me wearing these garments. Okay, so hopefully next Friday there will be Friday sews video. And yeah, let me know in the comments below if you like what you have been up to, any ideas of what you'd like to sew if you've not already sewn it. And for those of you that are joining in the Frugal Frocks, have you made your frock yet? Or have you started plans for your frock yet? Okay, thank you so much for watching, stopping by. Stay safe everybody. Thank you.